Referential integrity. An integrity constraint specifies that the value of an attribute in a relation depends on the value of the same attribute in another relation. What's the null value? Null value is a spatial field value, distance from zero, blank, or any other value that indicates that the value for the field is missing or otherwise unknown. And designing physical tables, relational database is a set of related tables. What's the physical table? Physical tables is a named set of rows and columns that specifies the fields in each row of the table. What's the denormalization? Denormalization is the process of splitting or combining normalized relations into physical tables based on affinity of use of rows on and fields. The normalization of optimizes certain data processing activities at the expense of others. And three types of prototyping: range prototyping. Proteins are defined by non-overlapping ranges of values for a specific attribute. Hash prototyping. Prototyping is a table row is assigned to a partition by an algorithm and maps the specific attribute value to the partition. And composite partitioning combines range and hash prototyping by first segregating data by ranges on the designed attribute and then within each of these partitions. And various forms of denormalization, which involves combining data from several normalization tables, can be done. No hard and fast rules for this decision. Three common situations where denormalization may be used: two entities with a one-to-one relationship, a many-to-many relationship with 90 attributes, and reference data. And file organizations. What's the file organization? A technique for physical arranging the records of a file. What's the physical file? Physical file is a named set of table rows stored in a contiguous section of secondary memory. And sequential file organization is a file organization in which rows in a file are stored in sequentially according to a primary key value. Hashed file organization. A file organization in which the address for each row is determined using an algorithm. What's the pointer? And we can look at what the pointer is a field of data that can be used to locate a related file or row data. And arranging tables rows. Objectives for choosing file organization: fast data retable, high throughput for processing transactions, efficient use of storage space, protection from failures or data loss, minimizing need for reorganization, accommodating growth, security from unauthorized use, protection from failures or data loss, minimizing need for reorganization, accommodating growth, security from unauthorized use. And indexed file organization. What's the indexed file organization? Is about a file organization in which rows are stored either sequentially or non-sequentially and An index is created that allows software to locate individual rows. What's the index? Index is a table used to determine the location of rows in a file that satisfies same condition. What's the secondary keys? Secondary keys is a one or a combination of fields for which more than one row may have the same combination of values. And main disadvantages are extra space required to store the indexes, and extra time necessary to access and maintain indexes. Main advantages are allows for both random and sequentially processing. Guidelines for choosing indexes. Specify a unique index for the primary key of each table. Specify an index for foreign keys. Specify an index for non-key fields that are referenced, and qualifications, sorting and grouping comments for the purpose of retrieving data. And using controls for files, two of the goals of physical table design are protection from failure or data loss, and security from unauthorized use. These goals are activated primarily by implementing controls on each file. To other important types of controls addressed while backup and security. And designing control files for files continues here. Techniques for file restoration include periodically making a backup copy of a file, storing a copy of each change to a file in a transaction log or audit trail, storing a copy of each row before or after it is changed. Build data security into a file include coding or encrypting the data in the file, requiring data file users to identify themselves by entering users' names and passwords, prohibiting users from directly manipulating any data in the file by forcing users to work with a copy. Physical database designed for a voice server. The following decision need to be made. Create one or more fields for each attribute and determine a data type for each field. For each field, decide if it's calculated, needs to be coded or compressed, must have a default value of or picture, or must have range, represent integrity or null value.